You ready?
Yeah, bro.
What's up, Guns Out Range Day 2023?
What's the name of the podcast, John?
This is the Go Beyond Podcast Range Day Special. Let's go.
Wow.
And get some.
Wow.
All right, guys, we're about to interview our next guest, or actually our last guest on the Go Beyond Podcast Range Day 2023 edition. And, you know, this is one of those moments where Guns Out gets to kind of pay it back, right?
Oh, I know.
Because you
This is
remember,
exciting.
It is. It really is. Because remember when we first started, we got canceled from TV. How we were embraced and brought on by people who were interested in our story, interested in that disservice of us being canceled from broadcast TV, and they felt it was a responsibility of theirs to report that.
They did. People that we actually didn't even know, which was crazy. Never met us, weren't aware of us.
You know, we still haven't spoken to Tampa Carey.
Tampa Carey,
yeah,
that's
you know,
right.
and
That's so
we were in
crazy.
Houston and we were doing our thing, and we saw an article pop up, a video pop up about us being canceled, and we just found out about it. Word travels fast, right?
Yeah, faster than we're being informed, which
Exactly.
I don't want to even get
But
into
anyway,
that, John.
rising tides lifts all ships, and look where we are today because of those
2.5,
moments.
3 years later?
Right, those moments and those people. So obviously we feel the responsibility to do the same. So I came across Jacob on Instagram. I was introduced to his profile, Mad Minute Tacticians, by another colleague of ours, a mutual friend.
Yep.
And he said, hey man, you know what, give this guy a look. And he referred Jacob to me. Jacob reached out to me about Range Day specifically, and we started talking about some things. And I actually had a conversation with him about his platform and how he's building it. I've actually been watching from when I first looked at it. I've seen engagement grow. I've seen like the community grow, and I think it's a fabulous story. And I just wanted him to get on here, share a little bit about himself, and see if we can help grow his audience a little more.
No, I mean, Jacob, first, welcome to the podcast, man.
appreciate
Welcome
that.
to the show. And I remember when John first told me about you, I started looking at some of your videos.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the times of from concealment and I'm like, there's
unbelievable.
no way in hell this is real. And I went back and I watched some more and I said, holy smoke, this guy is good.
Yeah, well, I figured the best way to make a name for myself was just be the fastest guy out there, right? Like, you can't.
I mean, you're
It
not
can't
wrong.
That might be
You know what I
true.
mean?
Look, he's not
That
wrong.
might
He's
be
not
true.
wrong. It's working.
if
So,
nobody has to know my name
I mean,
if I'm just
Jacob,
putting it down. So.
okay, everybody wants to be accurate. Everybody wants to be fast. You want
Yep,
to do a
yep,
sub-second
yep.
draw. You want to
Yeah.
be able to enter into some competitions and do all right. Dude, you are pushing it to the limit.
I appreciate that.
How in the hell are you doing some of this stuff?
You just got to do it over and over and over again. Like, when I work with
crazy.
people, dry fire is the name of the game. You can spend thousands of rounds working on a range, working your recoil management, but if you can't get the gun out of the holster, whether it's concealed or from a belt, and get the sights to land where you want them to, then everything else is for
How many hours of dry fire you put in? I just want to know.
Minimum of like an hour a day.
And how many in total?
I've been doing that for 5 years, so I don't know. Do that math.
John?
That's a lot of
Are
math.
we behind?
And
Yeah.
that math is math. No, bro, no. We are definitely behind because you know our schedules is crazy
I
like
know,
that, right?
I know.
But I
You gotta
will
get up
say this.
early.
Well, you're right
Well,
about
I'm
that.
up
No,
early.
you're right. But you
So
are
that's
right.
not an
Well,
excuse.
Yeah, it's not an excuse for you. But no, you've seen. It broke my sub-second draw. And
Yep.
I mean,
Well,
I'm
you know
talking
what's
about,
crazy? You didn't break it like a 9. I mean, so this is crazy to me. So when John and I really used to train a lot together, I
Yeah.
guess before the political stuff started
Yeah.
making my life crazy again, I was always fast. John was
Yeah.
always accurate.
Yeah.
Then John helped me become more accurate. I could not necessarily
Help
help
me
John
become
with
more
the
fast.
speed.
No,
And
dog.
I don't know, a month ago we're out shooting and we're on the shot timer. This son of a gun gets a .74.
I saw that.
And I'm like,
I saw
bullshit.
it.
Don't
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
You don't believe it.
Yeah,
You drew too fast.
Yeah,
I tried to come up
jumped
with
the
every
timer.
excuse
I jumped the timer.
possible.
Yep. Oh yeah, you tried.
And the recording didn't lie.
No, man, no. And the funny thing is he's right though. Dry fire.
It
I
is.
have been able to be way more consistent with that, and that's why it's not. I hate being a fluke. If you can only do something
true.
one time, then I don't know if you can really do it.
Yeah.
I don't think
because
you
at
can
the end
really
of the
do it.
day,
Everybody
what-
gets
what
lucky
do they-
once.
What do they say about training? When you reach that moment of truth, you're gonna fall back to your lowest level of training.
100%.
And
100%.
so I want my lowest level to be someone's highest level, or most people's highest level.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. At this point.
That's the point of trying to be as fast as possible, because if you're able to pull down 0.6s, 0.7s on the range, it
Yeah.
buys you so much more decision time in the real world.
Oh, 100%.
And what's going to matter
without a
the
doubt.
most is that ability to look at your environment, clear your backdrop, and actually take not only an accurate shot, but a legally responsible one.
Man.
So
man,
being
say it
able to be
again.
fast from the holster just buys you responsibility time.
It
And
does.
so when you think about your content creation and you're pushing things to the limit in terms of speed and accuracy, what do you want gun owners, specifically the new folks, because we really like to talk to the new folks who are who aren't sure, there's a lot of trepidation about getting into this.
Yeah.
They look at people like us or like you and so many others and say, oh my God, there's no way I can do this. What advice do you give to those guys who look to you and say, I want to be able to do that?
I think first is start slow and respect the safety behind what you're doing. Right?
Say that part again.
You got to start slow and respect the safety behind what you're doing. Safety is the name of the game always. Dry fire is a super big, super important part of it. But I think just understanding what you're doing. If you can take anything that you're successful at in your life and look at how you became successful at that, it's a step-by-step process of repeated failure. Mm-hmm. So go out to the range and shoot with people that are better than you and accept your failure. Anytime that you want to accomplish anything in your life, it's just a process of repeat failure over and over
again. That's right.
And then it gets to a point where you have to trust yourself. To be able to pull down those super sub-second times, you don't see your sights.
What's the fastest you've gotten?
0.5.
0.5. You
Wait,
haven't seen
from-
that
from
you haven't-
concealment.
From concealment. You haven't seen that
What do
video?
you mean point?
So the
half
timer
a-
goes
half a-
boop,
half
and
a
then in
second?
half a second, there's a
serious?
round down.
You haven't seen that video?
No.
10 yards,
So
sees on steel.
him and Ron Kontowski was going back and forth, and I think the first time was like a 0.8 something.
Yeah.
And then he shot a 0.7, and then Ron went back and shot a 0.65.
Oh, we were fighting over hundredths of a second
Oh,
for
yeah, it
like
was
3
That's
months.
insane.
Yeah.
It was
So when are you coming out with the blueprint? Where is the training guideline
I mean,
so that during
I
my
can't,
travels
but then I'm
I
not
can work
special.
on
I
this?
can't give everybody my secrets, and I'm not special. You know what I'm saying?
and have you seen the little thing he does when he puts his gun back in the
Oh,
holster?
don't tell anybody about that.
Oh,
Oh,
explain this,
yeah,
John.
hey, look,
Explain this.
Let me tell you something.
Remember when I said safety? Don't do that.
Don't repeat that. Got it.
But no, I was gonna say that the way you do it is safe to me. You show the gun is clear.
Yeah.
100%. And you're putting it back in your holster. So here's the thing. You know how back in the day when you used to you see the cowboys spin the rifle,
Yep.
spin the pistol back into their holster, and this joker. He shoots a first a sub a 0.6, 0.5, and then he drops the mag, shows it's clear, puts it back in there, pulls the slide back, locks it back. You see it's clear. He sends the slide home, and then he spins it and it flips right into his concealment holster.
Yeah, see, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I actually started doing that just to like annoy the fuds.
Oh, I already know.
The
And
old school shooters.
Oh,
It
yeah.
drives them absolutely
Listen,
insane.
you
I
showed,
kind of
you
enjoy
showed the
that.
gun was clear almost
Yeah.
3 ways.
I grew up
before
on the Jackass generation. You know what I mean?
I
Like
love
it's
Jackass,
the same.
Man. Those guys are hilarious.
I grew up-
Jackass?
yeah.
Man,
I can't believe it.
hilarious,
I would have
John.
never taken you
Have
for
you
a
never seen
Jackass
any of their
type.
episodes?
No, of course I've seen. Everybody's seen Jackass.
Dude. All right, so how did you, when you think about your beginning from where you are today, clearly you're talking about years of training,
Sure.
years of dry firing. Did you think you would ever get to this point? Or was it like, you know what, I want to be able to compete, do some IDPA, a USPC, PSA, maybe some IPSC tournaments, and then you said, you know what, I think I can go a little further.
No, honestly, it's.
So you just got into it, so I'm just going to keep going and going and going.
I have a problem with obsession in my life, and I think
Oh,
that
I
being
understand
a
that.
father and a husband, when I'm out in public, I have a responsibility to my family. So it was just a personal obsession to be the best that I could be with my concealed carry
So
gun
for
because it
you,
mattered.
it started off, I need to make sure I can protect myself
Exactly.
and my family.
Exactly.
So you weren't really thinking about I need to push to get a 0.5.
No, I just wanted to maximize my ability to take an accountable shot in those
Wow.
environments. And then it just kind of started to take a life of its own on Instagram, and now it allows me the ability to push personal responsibility kind of as a bigger picture, from personal responsibility as a parent, personal responsibility through politics, personal responsibility with carrying a firearm
I
and
love
having
that.
some basic medical understanding.
I love
You
that.
can make a huge impact in your world just by being the change that you want to see.
So you're using your ability to be accurate and fast as sort of a gateway to promote all of the things you just
100%.
listed.
100%.
Makes
It is-
sense, John.
It is my vehicle.
I mean, listen, when I saw what he was doing, and, you know, I didn't mean to put you on the spot with the flipping the gun back in the
Hey, hey.
but trust and believe,
Check the Instagram.
What's
we
the
feel-
Instagram? Drop the Instagram.
Mad Minute Tacticians.
There you go.
So I just wanted to make certain that they knew, like, you did it in a safe way. And I mean, trust and believe, man. We're not about fooling around with
Oh, no,
firearms.
not at all.
And to be honest with you, had I not see you drop the mag, show the mag's clear, put the
Yeah,
mag
sure.
in, lock the slide back, send the slide home, and then throw it in your holster, I would have had a problem with that.
I do it very intentionally.
No, obviously. So with that being said, I don't mind to shout it out because that's intriguing and that's entertaining, and people like to see that type of
Oh,
stuff.
they
Whether
do.
They like to
I mean,
admit it.
John,
does.
it's almost like our approach to Guns Out originally. We started doing all this market research on how to build a successful brand early on.
Yep.
And one of the things we found when you study most people, not just Americans, but most humans, generally speaking, entertainment typically permits people to access and retain information
Yes.
faster.
Yes.
Exactly.
And so we thought, all right, we're going to do this Guns Out thing. It has to be fun as hell based
Yep.
on psychological evidence.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so you're in many ways, John, he's doing the same thing.
100%.
You,
I love it, man.
you catch a viral reel of mine, you come to my page, and you're immediately hit with education on how to use a tourniquet, education on how to turn your T-shirt into a tourniquet, how to take a Lay's chip bag and make chest seals. So,
Yeah. No, it's awesome, man. It's awesome. Listen, we are approaching the final seconds before we can get to this giveaway that we
Yep.
see people are clamoring
waiting
for, and I'm
for.
not.
I
I'm
made
not
everybody
mad at
wait.
them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you didn't. We made everybody wait. But listen, I'm excited about this because we got some great prizes. But anyway, Jacob, I'm so happy that you were able to come on to the show with us today.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad you came to Range Day, man. I hope you made a lot of connections, met a lot of new people.
Yeah, it's been a great
Connected
experience.
with your audience.
Yeah,
You know?
it's been super cool. I got to say, this is the first time I've been like recognized in public, and that was
that's good,
super
man.
odd.
And Jacob, so before we wrap, John, again, tell people where they can follow.
So the Instagram is Mad Minute Tacticians, and I've got a YouTube up and running now.
Give
So,
us the YouTube.
Same name, longer form content, and the YouTube's going to focus more on like actual medical education, firearms education. The Instagram is mainly just for fun.
So check this
Sounds
guy
good.
out, guys. He's fun, but again, he's about safety and education, and that's what we promote.
Yes.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for joining us, Jacob.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Thank
And-
you, Jacob.
Absolutely.
And that wraps the Go Beyond podcast.
Wow, what a
Range
day,
Day
man. This is fun.
2023. Day flew by. I knew it would.
So at some point, guys, we got to get this podcast thing on a weekly basis.
No,
John.
we do.
So
But
is
you
that
know what?
coming in September?
I remain non-committal
Oh, here
until
John
I know we can get some in the can or something, because with the way his schedule is,
Here we
and
go.
mine is starting.
Here we
and
go.
No,
Here we go.
Mine is starting to do the
I
same
already
thing.
said I would make the time.
All right, Sherm. All right. See, here you go. Here you
I don't
go.
want the record
Think
this
of your
time.
constituents.
You always got to get me with the political
I
shit.
will. That's the only thing I got. The only thing I got on you, man.
Guys, make sure you check out GunsOutTV.com. This is the second annual Guns Out Range Day in Loudoun County, Virginia at XCal. Next year, we'll be in a different location, which we will be announcing soon.
Yes.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. We no longer happen to be on TikTok, but that's a long story. YouTube at Guns Out TV.
Let's go.
Why did you wait?
I don't know. I didn't know you were done.
We're still working on the media training, guys.
Oh, wow.
And get
You
some.
Really gonna do that, dog? Wow. You ugly.
Later, guys.